Oh, get it, buddy. This is Jack's week 2 video recap. We're starting out with a little bit of play with the flirt pole. So I like to use a flirt pole to play with my puppy for a couple of reasons. One of them being it kind of keeps my hands out of the equation. So he can chase his toy around, he can stalk it, he can catch it, he can fling it around, he can do all these things. And I get to stay in a relatively neutral position. And again, my hands are out of the equation with this. Good job, buddy. So when he's in possession of that flirt pole, I do want to be conscious of making sure I am not pulling him across the floor or lifting him up off of the ground when he is in possession of it. Good job, buddy. So once I get this toy away from him again, we'll move right into our exercises. We're going to quickly review everything that we went over in week 1, and then we'll move into everything that we taught the puppies this week in week 2. Good job, buddy. What a good boy. Good job, Jack. Okay. We are going to start out by charging our reward marker, which is our clicker. So we want the dogs to have a really solid association between hearing that click and being rewarded with a piece of food. So we do like to do this at the beginning of each training session. And I'll just do a few reps, maybe 2 repetitions of this before we move into our first skill here. Good job, buddy. So we're going to review our food luring. So for this, I'm holding a piece of food nice and flat in the palm of my hand with my thumb. The goal is I want the puppy licking it the whole time as they're following it. And we've also been pairing this with their name as well. So I'm going to show Jack that piece of food, get him licking it. Jack! Good boy. Jack! Nice work, buddy. So see how he's staying connected to my hand that whole time? That's what we want. I also like to practice this with both hands just to make sure that my puppy is comfortable following a food lure, whether it's in my left hand or my right hand. Jack. Good job, buddy. We'll do one more. Jack. Good puppy. From here, we're going to move right into our hand targets or our touch command. So what we've been doing this week is putting our hand out nice and flat, cueing our dog to touch. When they come over and hit our hand with their snout, that's when we're going to mark and reward them. Hey, bud. Jack. Touch. Good boy. Good job, buddy. Touch. Nice work. And then same that I just did with the food lure, I do like to practice this with both hands as well. Where'd you go? Jack. Touch. Good boy. Touch. Nice work, bud. Good boy. Okay, we're going to move right into reviewing our sit. So with the sit, we've been adding some duration to this. So once Jack's in position, I'm going to give him a follow-up cookie or 2 before I toss that reset to set him up for our next rep. Where you going, bud? Oh. Sit. Go get it. Nice work, bud. We'll do that again. Jack. Sit. Nice work. So again, giving him that follow-up for maintaining that position. Oh, I'm going to get him back up. Good boy. Go get it. And we'll do that one more time. Look at you already in position there, bud. Jack, sit. Good boy. Nice work, buddy. Go get it. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to move into our new behaviors in week 2. So the first one we're going to work on is our down. So for this, it's easiest to get our dog into a down or to teach them a down from a sit position. So I'm going to get Jack into a sit first, and then I'm going to use a food lure to slowly bring him down to the floor. So I'm moving it really slow. I want him staying connected to that piece of food the whole time and moving it straight down to the floor. Once his elbows hit the floor, that's when I'm going to mark and reward him. So he's already in a sit position. I'm getting him licking that food and just slowly bringing it down to the floor. Once elbows hit, that's when I'm going to drop the piece of food. I'll give him a follow-up cookie, just like we were doing for the sit. Whoops. Good boy. And then I'll say, get it, to let him out of position. Good job, buddy. We're going to do that again. Down. Go get it. And we'll do one more. Nice work, bud. You're doing great. Yeah. Down. Good boy. Go get it. Good job, Jack. Okay, we're going to take another play break here. Oh, what's that, buddy? Good job, bud. So something that I like to do with the puppies while we're playing with the flirt pole is when they're in possession of that toy, I do like to make sure that they are comfortable with me handling them. So I will pet Jack a couple times while he's in possession of this toy here. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, bud. Oh, where'd it go? Good boy. Good job, Baba. Okay. So once I get this toy back from him, we're going to move into our mat skill. So in week 2, we want the puppies to go into a down position on the mat. And then we're going to work on building duration, just like we were doing with the sits and the downs. So getting them to hold that position for a couple seconds on the mat before we release them. And then I am still going to move the mat between each repetition because I do want to make sure that Jack is finding his way back to the mat between each repetition. Okay. So this first repetition, I am going to help him. So giving him some follow-up cookies. Go get it. Picking that mat up, putting it down in a new spot. I want to see that he's going to find his way back to it. What a good boy. So it took him a second there, but he figured it out. Offered me that down. So now he's getting a couple follow-ups. What a good puppy. Go get it. We're going to do that again. So after he eats that reset, I want to see that he's going to go back to that mat. I'll give him a few seconds to try to figure it out on his own. If he's struggling, then I'll help him. Help him here. Good boy. Go get it. We are going to do one more with him. Good boy. So again, giving him a few seconds to figure it out before I help him. You can kind of see the wheels turning, like he looks down at the mat after a couple seconds. Go get it. Good job, buddy. Nice work. Okay. From here, we're going to move right into our crate exercise. So this week we are just building up the value of the puppies being in the crate. So I'm going to, you can call this crate or kennel, but I'm going to cue Jack to go into the crate. I'm going to mark and reward for all 4 paws in the crate. And then I'm going to give him a couple follow-up cookies. Again, to build up the value of him being in that crate, when I'm ready to let him out, I'm going to meet him at the threshold with a piece of food and say, okay, and toss one away to let him out. So just getting him used to waiting at that threshold. Hey, bud. Jack. Great. Good boy. So not closing the door. Again, giving him a few follow-ups. Building up the value of him being in that crate. Then when I'm ready to let him out, I'm meeting right at the threshold. Okay. Tossing that piece of food away. We'll do that again. Jack, crate. Good boy. Okay. Good job, buddy. We'll do one more here. Jack. Great. Good job, buddy. Okay. Good boy, Jack. Nice work. Okay. We've been continuing to work on name recognition with the puppies by playing our flying cookie game. So for this, I'm going to toss a reset cookie. I'm going to tell Jack to go get it. As he's finishing up that piece of food, I'm going to say his name nice and loud. When he turns in response to his name, I'm going to mark that with the clicker. And then I'm going to reward him when he comes all the way back to me. Hey, bud. So showing him that food. Go get it. Jack. Nice work, buddy. And then the next one I'm going to toss in a different direction. Go get it. Jack. Good boy. Go get it. Jack. Go get it. Jack. Nice work, bud. Good boy. Good job. We've been continuing to work on getting the puppies dressed in a harness. So a lot of times when we're introducing the harness, we put it on the puppies and they kind of like stiffen up. They don't really know what to do. They're not quite sure about it. So once I get the harness on the puppies, I like to either play with the flirt pole if they're into toy play, or if they would prefer to work with food, maybe I'll get them following a food lure around for a couple of repetitions while they're wearing that harness. Hey, bud. Oh my goodness. So since he is so little, I do like to do this while I'm holding them. This particular harness has Velcro and a clip. So I will get the Velcro done while I'm still hanging on to him. And then for the clip, what I like to do is put the puppy down on the floor, put a piece of food on the floor so that they're busy eating that food while I clip the harness. Good boy. I'm gonna bring out the flirt pole, see what Jack thinks of playing while he's wearing that harness. Oh, what's that? Good boy. Oh my goodness. What a happy guy. Good boy. So again, just getting him used to wearing that harness. A lot of times, if we are doing something with the puppy while they're wearing it, they're less likely to notice that they have it on versus if we just put it on him and he's just sitting there doing nothing. So I like to do toy play or a little training exercise. Good job, buddy. Oh my goodness. Woo, careful. So the last thing that we're going to go over today is our body handling. So we are going to review all the handling that we did in week 1, and then we are going to get into using grooming tools. So we introduced the puppies to nail clippers this week. So we're going to work on that next once I get the toy back from Jack here. Good man. What a good puppy. Whoa, I got it. So I like to sit on the floor when I'm working with puppies that are this small. It's just easier. Our other option would be to have the puppy up on something like a desk or something that's elevated. The only thing with that is you do want to be aware of safety. So if you're using an elevated surface, you just want to make sure it's not something that the dog can easily fall off of or try to jump off of. So we're going to start out by just reviewing our handling from week 1. So with this, we are just, again, getting the puppies used to and comfortable with being handled. So I'll start with his ears here. I'm just going to flip them over and take a quick peek. Yes, good boy. So not really doing much in the way of duration or pressure right now. Yes, good man. Good job, buddy. I'm going to practice a couple of restraint holds, so that's where my hand goes underneath his belly. Yes, good boy. Oh my goodness. We'll do that again. Yes, good job, buddy. For handling his tail, I'm just going to lift his tail gently. Whoops, it's right here, bud. Yes, good boy. So with like his tail and his ears, I'm not yanking on them, I'm not pulling on them. Again, just getting him used to being handled because he is going to need a lifetime of vet care and grooming care. Now we're going to move on to his paws. So I do like to start up at the top of his leg and work my way down and then massage a paw. Yes, good boy. We'll try that with the hind leg. Can you stand up, sir? Thank you. Yes, good boy. And then we'll see if I can get him to turn around so we can do the other paws here. Oh. Yes, good boy. Yes, nice work, buddy. Okay, so I'm going to take his harness off. So just dropping a piece of food on the floor while I get this off. And then we're going to move on to introducing the nail clippers. So this week with the nail clippers, we are not actually clipping the puppy's nails. We are just getting them used to the nail clippers touching their body. So I'm going to touch the nail clippers to different parts on Jack's body and then mark and reward him. So we'll start out by, I know, what is that, buddy? Maybe just running it down his spine. Yes, good boy. Maybe touching it to the side of his neck. Yes. So with this, it doesn't really matter what body part you're touching it to. Again, we are just getting the puppies used to feeling this grooming tool. Yes, good boy. How about? Yes, nice work, buddy. See if I can turn him around so I can do those other two paws. You're being so good, bud. Yes. We'll do that last paw here. Whoop. Yes, good job, Jack. Good boy. That is it for Jack's week 2 video recap. Make sure that you are looking at your video library as well as your handouts for a lot more detailed information on the skills we've been working on with the puppies in week 2.